Well, with Lucky Charms month almost over and the Bud Light and Target boycott still going strong, it looks like things are not going as well for NickMercs and the Activision Call of Duty boycott. A new low has happened when it comes to this whole situation. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and let's get into the updates for NickMercs, shall we? So I've actually got a couple of articles I want to go over here, talking about how they're framing the situation and how it really bothers me. So we're going to start with this one from Game Rant. NickMercs Call of Duty drama means one thing for future games. The recent NickMercs drama in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 may signal a drastic change for creator collaborations in video games. And I'm not going to get too much into what it means for the creator collaborations. I just want to talk about how they frame certain parts of this article before I go on to the real meat in a second article. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 recently had to remove 2 skin bundles. Just last month, the FPS title announced that it was collaborating with streamers NickMercs and timthetatman for an operator skin and gun cosmetics. Many of their fans seemed excited to cop the bundle to support them, but in early June, NickMercs made a problematic remark against the LGBTQ community. Now, we're going to stop right there. He did not make a problematic remark against the LGBTQ community. He made a remark that any parent would most likely agree with if there's some sort of saying. And that remark was, if you guys don't remember, they should leave children alone. That's the real issue. And what he was referring to was very obviously not pushing any sort of sexual ideologies or anything on children in schools, mind you. This is referencing when, there were some Armenian individuals arguing and rioting and protesting against schools teaching LGBTQ stuff that is, up to the parents to teach their children and should not be part of state-funded curriculum. So, the article goes on to even misquote, where people accused him of being homophobic and supporting violence against the community. He never supported violence. Again, all he said was they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. At no point of that does that support violence against the community. He later addressed the controversy, but said he wasn't going to apologize for saying that LGBTQ plus people should stay away from children. He didn't say that. That's what's incredible. They put it in quotes here as if that's what he actually said, as if Nick was just up there being like, oh, what? You suck dick? Stay away from children, you homo. Like, that's not what was going on. He was saying, yo, if you're a dude and you like to suck dick, it's fine to be around children, but don't talk to children about it. That's a little bit different. Most people probably don't have an issue with gay folk around their kids as long as the gay folk aren't going to be all sexual and weird and teach little kids, like 9 years old or younger, stuff like that. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever. Most people don't want you talking to their kids about sexual acts. He didn't say stay away from children, because you could make an argument that that statement would be homophobic in a vacuum, but it removes all context about, hey, these schools were trying to teach children about sexual things LGBTQ related, but even if it wasn't LGBTQ related, it'd be a different story. They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. That is not stay away from children. Call of Duty responded by promptly removing his skin from the bundle in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone stores, and it's focused on celebrating Pride Month with its employees and community. Now, you guys already know that. I just really wanted to get out that stay away from children was quoted here as if it was something he actually said. How are you going to put it in quotes? This right here, how does this not count as libel? I wonder if he could technically sue for this because they put it in quotes as if that's what he said, when that's not what he said in the slightest. Obviously, it probably wouldn't do a whole lot of good for him to sue Game Rant. I mean, let's be honest, they're probably a failing game journalist company anyway, so it's not like he could really get any money out of them. But it does go to show the complete slant that the media has, especially games journalism, towards things that they deem offensive or problematic or whatever, even when they're completely innocuous, that they are willing to outright lie or at least not do their research if we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt here, though I don't want to do that. However, here's the meat and potatoes of the story. NickMercs dropped from another huge Call of Duty contract, and this probably signals the end for NickMercs and his Call of Duty career, which frankly, if Activision is going to be like that, I don't think it's any sort of great loss. It looks like NickMercs Cold Chef's relationship with Call of Duty is well and truly dead in the water. His venture into Apex Legends amid a stifled Warzone experience started straining his love affair with the community, having once been a search and destroy legend. But following the removal of his operator amid an anti-LGBTQ+ comments, see right here, they're calling it anti-LGBTQ comments. He didn't say anything anti-LGBTQ, but this is a different article. This is from G Grecon, I guess that's how you say it, G-G-R-E-C-O-N, Grecon.com. They are still calling it anti-LGBTQ comments. There's nothing anti-LGBTQ about saying don't put sexual things on children, which was very obviously, when you look at the context of what he was talking about, the case. If it's so anti-LGBTQ to say don't talk to 9-year-olds 9-year-olds about dick sucking, then your boy here is a bona fide homophobe, despite my best friend being part of the LGBTQ community. So yeah, explain that one to me. There's a very obvious lie in this, but they don't care if they're lying because it gets you to click on it and makes them look good, and it makes this regular dude out to look like the villain when there is nothing wrong with what he was saying. It's bold-faced lying, and that's why I said I didn't want to give Game Rant the benefit of the doubt when they misquoted him, because I guarantee you it was intentional. It now seems like Activision is severing all ties with NickMercs as he's been dropped from another Call of Duty deal. NickMercs dropped as a Call of Duty League co-streamer. With the Call of Duty League World Championships kicking off today, June 15th, which I guess, yesterday by the time you're seeing this, NickMercs was originally supposed to be among a string of influencers who were being paid to co-stream the event. It was supposed to bring their communities over to watch the Pinnacle COD sports event. The streamer previously revealed on stream that he is being paid by Activision to co-stream the event, rooting for Atlanta FaZe along the way. Now I wonder, this is probably a contracted gig, so if they kicked him off, I wonder if the boy still got paid. That would be the way to go out. Not even have to stream about this company that's very clearly pro-grooming children and still getting to take their dirty, gross gay dollars. I joke, I kid. Obviously, there's nothing wrong if you're gay, but there is something wrong with companies getting rid of dudes for saying keep gay shit away from kids when it's sexual in nature. So, take it however you want. But the point is, if he got to get paid and not have to work with them after this obvious non-controversy, then that is a way to go. However, after his anti-LGBTQ plus comments on Twitter, they did it again. We're not even 3 paragraphs later, and they're doing it again, calling this right here, they should leave little children alone, anti-LGBTQ comments. It makes you wonder what they want so many kids to be involved with the community for. Like, if saying leave children out of it is such a anti-LGBTQ comment, what do they want kids to hear? Hey, little Timmy, I'm gonna teach you all about butt fucking. Trust me, it doesn't hurt so much after you've done it 2 or 3 times. Like, full stop. I don't think kids should be learning that. So, yeah, what do they want kids to hear about the LGBTQ community? It's one thing to preach tolerance and say, hey, some people are different. It's another thing to actively have LGBTQ-oriented classes in school, which is what the Armenians were, rioting over or protesting, because let's be honest, it was more of a protest before it was turned physical. And for those of you that don't know, the Armenians, the people that went through the Armenian genocide, it's not like they're radical right-wingers. We're talking about Armenians here, a minority, the type of people that the left would traditionally shill for. But hey, if you're Armenian, if you're a minority, but you're not gay, it doesn't matter. They're just going to lump you in with radical right-wing white people. So, yeah, let's go on now. Anti-LGBTQ comments on Twitter. Where's your support of the Armenians? The people who were subject to the Armenian genocide? There's been no, so far as I can tell, homo genocide, which has sparked Call of Duty boycotts in support of him. NickMercs has now been dropped from his roster. The official list of co-streamers has been revealed without his name. NickMercs and timthetatman left off CDL co-streamers list. So yes, it was not just NickMercs, it was also timthetatman. They were both supposed to stream the event and be paid to do so, but you also no longer see timthetatman as an influencer who's going to be participating in the event either. The official watch party roster contains a wealth of Call of Duty personalities, from ex-pros like Seth Scump Abner, Thomas Zuma Paparazzo via The Flank, and Anthony Zini Methods. There are also high-profile streamers such as Aiden Conrad, Vikram Vikstar Singh, Barn and Mason Sumfati Lanier. I may have butchered some of those. I've never heard of any of these clowns. But you know what? If they're still willing to work with Activision after this, I don't want to know who they are, because it tells me everything they stand for. Interestingly, timthetatman's Better has also been left off the list after uniting behind NickMercs and asking for his in-game bundle too. It probably means, in-game bundle to be removed, but anyway, having previously co-streamed CDL events in seasons gone by. For NickMercs, this looks like the end of his Call of Duty relationship, as Apex Legends esports continues to be his main passion, and a wealth of FPS games are lined up to serve as pastimes instead of Warzone. Well, look, as long as NickMercs doesn't go and, play Redfall for a living, hey, he's got my support as well. Look, whether you care about the NickMercs Call of Duty drama or the LGBT issues, that really doesn't matter at this point. Like, you should definitely be caring if the, LGBTQ curriculums in schools become a thing. That is, again, something for parents to decide. But even if you don't care about that, you need to look at the media and how they are framing this, and the fact that it's an outright lie. How many times did they call this anti-LGBTQ statements on Twitter when it flat out was not an anti-LGBTQ statement? He at no point said anything bad about anti-LGBTQ people or about how being gay is bad or negative. He didn't slam them. He didn't condone the violence. Not only did he not do that, even though the media framed it as such, they also straight up misquoted him and put it in quotation marks, like I showed you, in a way that made it seem even worse. They made his quote intentionally wrong and made it worse than it actually was. That is sickening, and it's not just game journalism doing this. CNN does it, Fox News does it, I'm sure Associated Press and all of those other websites, Daily Wire, that you love, do things like this. You need to open your eyes and realize there is no media that's being honest to you, aside from maybe some individuals on YouTube that try to use their free speech and get out the messages they can, even if they end up being silenced. So yes, look at the media and realize they're not your friend, they're not giving you good information, and if it takes some sort of Call of Duty homo scandal to get you to realize that, then whatever it takes, that's what should matter. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments below, or let me know on Twitter, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not just about, video gaming and LGBTQ issues, but also about anime, movies, video games in general, Magic the Gathering, you name it. It's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.